Welcome, everyone, to another episode where we delve into the deliciously messy world of family dynasty disputes. Prepare yourselves, because the stories we're about to uncover are so bizarre, so outrageously expensive, and so utterly human, you'll be questioning the very fabric of familial bonds, and possibly the sanity of some involved. We're talking about situations where millions, even billions, are at stake, turning sibling rivalry into a full-blown legal war. We'll be examining cases that range from the absurdly petty, think squabbles over who gets the family's prized collection of antique spoons, to the breathtakingly complex, involving international corporations, hidden offshore accounts, and enough legal maneuvering to make your head spin. Get ready, because this is where money truly makes mayhem. One classic scenario is the fight over the family business. Imagine a thriving empire built over generations, suddenly fractured by the death of the patriarch or matriarch. The will, often a meticulously crafted document, intended to ensure a smooth transition, becomes the battleground. We've seen situations where vaguely worded clauses become the subject of years-long litigation, costing more in legal fees than the actual assets in dispute. I wonder what planet the judge was on when they ruled in favor of the nephew who claimed the spiritual rights to the family's alpaca farm. An alpaca farm that, by the way, was the cornerstone of a multi-million-dollar textile empire. Then there's the issue of estranged family members. The black sheep, the prodigal son or daughter, suddenly reappearing after years of absence, demanding their rightful share of the inheritance. These cases often involve accusations of fraud, undue influence, and even outright kidnapping, though usually the kidnapping involves a particularly prized Persian cat, not a person. One case involved a family fighting over a priceless collection of vintage board games. When you hear this lawyer's defense, that the Monopoly set was a key component of the family's emotional legacy, you'll spit out your coffee. But it's not just about the inheritance itself. The control, the power, the legacy, these are often the real prizes in these high-stakes battles. Control over the family name, the company, the charitable foundation, these are all sources of immense influence and prestige, often worth far more than the monetary value of the assets involved. We've seen families tear themselves apart over the naming rights to a new line of luxury dog sweaters. Yes, you read that correctly, dog sweaters. And let's not forget the role of the lawyers. These are not your run-of-the-mill legal professionals. These are the sharks of the legal world, charging exorbitant fees, prolonging the legal battles to maximize their own profits, and employing every legal trick in the book, and often a few that aren't. These cases can last for decades, draining the family's wealth and leaving a trail of bitterness and resentment in their wake. One case I remember involved a family squabbling over a single, slightly chipped porcelain doll. The legal fees alone exceeded the value of the entire family estate. The emotional toll on the families involved is often devastating. Sibling bonds are shattered, parent-child relationships are irrevocably damaged, and the legacy of generations is reduced to ashes in the courtroom. The stress, the anxiety, the constant legal battles, it takes a heavy toll on everyone involved. And the irony? Often the legal fees consume so much of the estate that there's very little left for anyone at the end. It's a truly tragic spectacle. These disputes often highlight the dark side of wealth and privilege. The pressure to maintain a certain lifestyle, the fear of losing status, the insatiable greed, these are all powerful motivators that can drive people to act in ways they never thought possible. We've seen families who were once pillars of their community reduced to bitter enemies, their reputations tarnished, their lives consumed by endless litigation. One particularly memorable case involved a family who owned a vast vineyard. The dispute wasn't over the land or the wine itself, but over the rights to use the family crest on a new line of branded olive oil. The absurdity of it all is almost comical, yet the resulting legal battle was anything but. It's a perfect example of how even the most seemingly trivial matters can escalate into full-blown legal wars when significant money is involved. Another fascinating aspect of these cases is the role of hidden assets. Offshore accounts, shell corporations, trusts, these are all tools used to conceal wealth and complicate the inheritance process. Uncovering these hidden assets can be a Herculean task, requiring meticulous investigation and often the expertise of forensic accountants. We've seen cases where the discovery of a secret Swiss bank account completely overturned the initial division of the estate, leading to years more of legal battles. Moreover, the psychological impact on the individuals involved should not be underestimated. The constant stress, the betrayal, the feeling of being wronged, These can lead to serious mental health issues. We've seen cases where family members have suffered from depression, anxiety, and even substance abuse as a result of the prolonged conflict. It's a sobering reminder that the pursuit of wealth can come at a steep emotional cost. The stories we've discussed today paint a grim picture of what happens when family and finance clash. It's a cautionary tale, a reminder that money, while it can provide security and comfort, can also be a corrosive force, capable of destroying relationships and leaving a trail of bitterness and regret. It's a reminder that sometimes the most valuable things in life cannot be bought, and that the pursuit of wealth should never come at the expense of family. And as we wrap up this episode, I leave you with a thought. Perhaps a prenuptial agreement for family members might be a good idea. Or perhaps a very clear and concise will, devoid of any ambiguity, might prevent future generations from engaging in such ludicrous legal battles. Because let's be honest, some of these cases are so bizarre, so over the top, that they're almost entertaining, almost. But for the families involved, it's anything but a laughing matter. Until next time, stay tuned for more tales of family drama and legal mayhem. And remember, sometimes, less is more, especially when it comes to inheriting a family fortune. It might just save you a fortune in legal fees.